the unbelievable shit show that Blizzard unveiled this weekend. I can't believe that they have gone to the mobile market whole hog and just completely forgot their fan base. While you might be saying that there's a lot of mobile devices out there, I have to tell you, PC gamers is where they started, and that's where their fan base is. All they are doing is pandering to investors. They are wanting to see large return on investment for as little work as possible. And guess what? They did it. They took an existing game and reskinned it, put the Diablo name on it, and guess what? They're going to monetize the crap out of it. Don't believe me? Look at what Activision Blizzard has already done with their games. They're going to do exactly what the fans do not want to do. And guess what? It's not pretty. Nobody's going to fall for this, and they are expecting it to be another, hate to mention Bethesda, moneymaker like Fallout Shelter. They're going to make a cheesy game for the mobile, make a large amount of money in a very short amount of time in order to just raise their bottom line. And I hate to say this, but if you're an investor out there, don't fall for this, because it's not going to make them more profitable down the line. It's not going to make their stock value increase exponentially. They'll have another game on a dying IP. If they truly wanted to come up with a new and exciting product that's going to be played for the next 10 years, and people want to scream remaster 10 years from now so that they can continue playing the game they love, they have forgotten they are in the games market. You don't have to come up with a brand new game every year, just like we've seen with EA and the game with the year marker on it every year, because we have to have someone plop down 60, 80, 90, $100 for a game. They don't even have to spend the money on box art, printing boxes, or even submitting it to the stores for sale. They even push out buggy software because the managers, not the developers, mismanage a product so badly that they can't hit a date with a minimal viable product and then come up with incremental releases. They have to have promised the world, and instead of saying, we're going to give you a good game, and then when sales have made a certain amount of money, they continue to improve it. That will get more people to buy the game. And then when you have enough people that want it to continue, then you come up with an expansion pack or new levels or something that will get people to continue to support the franchise without feeling cheated every step of the way. And I deplore people who get behind, well, the only way we can make money is to monetize the crap out of it through a live service. And they go to their investors in front of them and say, look at what we can make. But guess what? They don't buy it. They don't play it. All they want to see is how much money you made. Well, let's take Call of Duty. Was just released. And guess what? $500 million was invested into a game, purchases by the fan base for the privilege of getting more money taken away from them at a later date. Not even a blockbuster movie makes that kind of money in 3 days. And I hate to say this, but that's only a drop in the bucket. The amount of money that they get from the average player after purchase is insane. Or they make it so that it's so unplayable that the grind is just so bad you have to purchase speed ups and all of this other stuff. Perfect example. ArenaNet, Guild Wars. They would have specials through their gem store that you could get boosts constantly. I haven't played in probably a year and a half. But the last time I played, and 2 years before that, they were doing the same thing. So I can guarantee you that if I went on there today, there would be that same set of packs going on constantly. They don't want you to play the game. They want you to pay them money. Period. They're not selling you a game. They're selling you a puzzle that you cannot solve with any enjoyment without getting to the end game first. So how do you do that? You monetize reward system. Hate to say this, but the shit show that Blizzard just announced is going down that same path. And coming from a developer, I would hate to have my hard work, my blood, my sweat, my tears to go behind a product that, in all honesty, someone else was getting paid for. And I can't tell you the number of developers that are working on the project, but guess what? How many people work on a blockbuster movie? Have you ever watched the latest blockbuster movie? It may make anywhere from $10 million, $30 million, $100 million in its first weekend. But have you ever taken a look at how many people are employed in the making of that movie? Every single one of them got paid an hourly wage, And then you have your developers who get behind a blockbuster product such as Call of Duty, Anthem, Fallout, any one of these. If you thought that there were thousands of people getting paid for this, think again. There's probably only a couple of hundred, and they say that it costs money to make money. Well, how much would, if you had a team of even 500 people working on this game for 2 years, if you made $500 million in sales, wouldn't these people be able to make $500,000 a year? Hate to say this, but even the janitors, the secretaries, all of those people can get that kind of money. And they're not even the creative work. $500 million first weekend. That's pre-orders, I get that. But you have to think, even the biggest blockbuster movies don't make the kind of money that these games make. And guess what? They're pushed to hit deadlines that are insane because they don't want to spread the wealth. They will hire the cheapest labor that they can. They won't hire but contractors for most of the work because they don't want to commit, that's right, commit to the product with the labor that is required. If you felt that strongly about your product, you would hire permanent employees. And then when that project was done, you would move them on to the next IP project that you own. And if you had management that actually did their job, they would be looking out for the next project so that there would always be a train of projects in the pipeline that you could then go to investors and say, hey, we are now going to be switching on this date to this new project, which is going to take, let's say, 18 months, 2 years to build. But in the meantime, we will be making money off of the existing products that we have made, and we have a good track record. That is the way you do business. So, Activision Blizzard, all this announcement this weekend was to scream to their investors, we're trying, and I can't fake the tears that they have shed because they've run out of IPs to milk. Overwatch is getting old. World of Warcraft should have been retired long ago. They've been kicking that can down the road so far that the sides of this can are now riddled with holes. Yes, it's a fun game, but have you ever taken a look at your own game, Blizzard? It has a copyright date of 2004. It's no longer new. Get over it. Start building something new and fresh. Even if it's another Warcraft or it's another Diablo. Make something innovative instead of kicking around the same engines over and over and over again. And if you're not using the same engine across multiple current projects, you're missing the boat on profitability. You should not be relying on monetization, because guess what? What you are doing is unethical. It may not be illegal in most places, but it is unethical. Ethics. That's right. If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. These loot boxes and encouraging kids to want to get what everyone else has because you basically use the smallest percentage of the people who fall for your gimmicks and start using them as leverage to make it more enticing for even your cosmetics. Everyone has to have it. Well, guess what? That is unethical. You might say that that is ethical to your investors, but you are designing games. That's right. You're designing games. And guess what? If you leverage what other people have to entice others to need that product, that is called manipulation. They're snake oil salesmen. If that is what your job is, think hard about who your customers really are. And I hate to tell you this, but just thinking that all of these people are adults and you're making computer games, you are lying to yourselves. So guess what? You are the duck. I'm going to call you out. You are just the worst entertainers out there. At least at the end of the day, a person can say that they watched a movie that had some decent special effects and it only cost them about $10 a person. They got a few hours of entertainment and that's it. But you guys are designing a game that nobody wants to play for more than 8, 10, even 40 hours before they're done. And I hate to say it, but there's only a small percentage of people out there that like to play a game until they're done. These people have no idea what a game is because you guys have really ruined what a game should be. Why do people play Diablo 2 still to this day? Because it was replayable. Yes, you could defeat it in several hours of gameplay, but at the end of the day, You still wanted to play that game. Now we've got an entire generation of game players that would rather rent it at Redbox, complete the game, and be done with it, looking to spend more money somewhere else. You've given them a cheap thrill, which is not so cheap. At least the renters only have to pay a small portion of that money. But if they get stuck in this have to be online, you're just a money grab in disguise. And we wonder why companies like Telltale go under. It's because they're all in it for the short game. They're not in it for the long haul. These aren't developers. It's a group of managers who have decided that they'll gather the money for the development of a game, throw away the developers whenever they need to, when a job is done, and then they will continue to milk the long timers for as long as they absolutely can. It's horrible to see developers get used like that. I know that this has been a rambling video, but the shit show that they just announced for Diablo 4, or not Diablo 4, Diablo Immortals, is at the absolute insult to the Diablo fan base out there. And if you agree or disagree with me, please feel free in the comments below. Let's start a discussion. Let's start the movement of getting the game companies to listen to not only their fan base, who actually pays the light bill. It's not the investors. The investors, they put so little money behind these projects. They don't run a risk. They barely throw money into the pot. Show me where the accounting is. Because if anyone was out there to make money, they would be able to see that these live services and these companies do make a ton of money. But at the end, who's getting the money? It's complete mismanagement if they're not making money hand over fist. Because in today's age of leaks and online promotion, they don't spend the money they used to on radio and television ads. They let you guys hype it up so much that they get so much free advertising. Red Dead Redemption 2, riddled with bugs, but it made a ton of money, and it's still going to make a ton of money. And I hope that they fix the bugs that are in it. I hope that they're actually able to be the bugs that actually can be fixed. But that's for another story. So, just my 2 cents. Another, just another dev giving you a perspective on really what is going on with the gaming industry, how they treat devs, and where's the money going. So, this has been the Art of Code with the first of probably many rants. And if you want to see more, please feel free to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget the uh, notification bell so that you can know when I upload. So, this has been TJ, the Art of Code, signing out.